Well, hello, everybody. It is your boy, Sam again, a.k.a. the Train Mother Main. My pains and gains and glains and banes. Once again, if you don't like my intro, I can't really help you. I'm glad you're here, but there's nothing I can do for you there. But I'm glad you're here. So the channel's been around for, 7, 8 years. I think it was 2013, 14. You can go verify if you'd like. I've been saying since day one that I plan to upload on a regular basis. That has never materialized. So just call me a liar and don't ever count on anything except that I will keep uploading, but it's not going to be as often as you like. Sometimes, like when I first started this layout, I uploaded, I think, like 10 or 11 weeks in a row. What video will this be for that layout? Number 12, 11? Uploaded every Tuesday for many, many weeks in a row. And then, like April or whatever hit, weather got nicer and I'm a fisherman, so I stopped working on the layout. I haven't really touched it much since the last time you saw it, until this past weekend when I got the itch. So what did I do? I scratched it. So let me walk you through, I guess we'll do a rundown of everything right now. So we'll go from left to right because that's the easiest way. So about a month ago, a little more, a little less, 3 weeks, I decided to come in and paint my track. I used a combination of raw umber and burnt sienna. These are Liquitex Basics acrylic paint. You can get them on Amazon. So I mixed those two together, and I'm really happy with the effects. I know it's kind of hard to see, but painted the ties in the sides of the rails and did variations along the entirety. And I'm really happy with how it came out. So obviously the mine scene, got the track work's all been done for a while now. Everything's powered and wired for DCC. Got some foam work done. We'll fill that in somewhat for the tunnel portal and build up the mountains and all that. And I shaped a little bit of foam between the last time you saw and now. And then same thing with over here. Kind of got the center somewhat foamed up. Started carving just a little for looky-loos and where I'm going to put rock faces. The R's are where it's going to be more rocky instead of like sloping hill. Got the main lines all down. We'll go over to the right side first and then we'll come to this bad boy. So same thing down here. Like I said, I painted all the track on the layout. It is a little hard to see, but it's all there and I'm very happy with it. The tops of the rails, obviously I keep shiny so trains will run. Same thing down here though at the lumber mill scene. All the track work is done, wired for DCC. I did a little tiny bit, like I said, foam work. Again, the R's, so it'll be more of a rocky face here versus gently sloping grass. Haven't really worked up here at all yet, but like I said, I want rock faces and rolling hills and blah, blah, blah. So the lumberyard scene. I don't think this was in the last video. These are still very high. It's not going to be a big chasm like this. It's just going to be rolling. So I'm going to take this down like 90% of what you see and just have rolling very gently. So it's 2-inch foam, so it's going to be like a third of an inch tall. So like maybe to like the top of my fingernail and gently sloping and gliding. And same thing back here, just to kind of hide a little bit of the, fake tunnel portal back to non-real life. Obviously this isn't real life, but to leave the scene, I'll put some log stacks and stuff and leave some room to, obviously that's going to be visible. I'm not putting a tunnel portal, but just want it to be more terraformed and uniform, so it'll be okay. But loving the way both scenes are shaping up. I guess down there you can see, the mine. So we'll get to this guy now. So I did take off the fascia. It was 2 pieces that ran all the way across, so I can recycle. I'm gonna have to cut them short, but I do have, where are they? They're both right there. I also got another 4x8 sheet of pink foam and that's the leftover 4x8 sheet from this sheet. I was kind of salty because a 4x8 sheet is now $44. I don't think I've ever paid more than $30. I know when I bought this section, it was like $26, and then I had to buy another top sheet for up in here. So I spent $80-90 just on foam. So I will be putting the fascia back on. I don't think I'm going to do curved pieces. I think I'm just going to do straight all the way across. And I have this section down here too, so probably reinstall those fascia sometime this week because I can just cut the wood, put it back up, and be done. I don't want to have to look at it raw anymore. And then over here, I'll probably finish that fascia here too as I guess I should say the next project that I'll do now that I got the table built is just get the fascia done. There's no reason not to. All right, so just for the sake of measurements, this table is 2 feet wide the entire way across, so 2 feet wide, and it's just under 16 feet long. It's like 15 foot 7 inches or so. So 2 by 15 and a half, call it, give or take. I love how wide it is, especially with my, it's point to point, but it's a full loop. So obviously, the main line goes back there. I did just clean my track vigorously for the first time. It wasn't that big of a pain, but I love how wide it is. I wish it was a little bit wider, just maybe like 4 to 6 inches, but I'm fine with it. It's workable. It doesn't give me pain. It's just like a mind thing. But I wanted more. Now, I know I've said, and you've seen me sell 3 layouts now in the past 3 years, build them almost to completion and then sell them. We decided that we're going to stay in this house for at least another 5 years. I just invested in brand new windows and doors for the whole place. And we said we're going to stay. The way the world and the economy and housing market, pretty much everything about being alive right now kind of sucks, except for hobbies like this. So being that we're definitely staying, I'm definitely going to be expanding my layout, and I wasted no time. So the new section is 4 foot wide by 6 feet long. So definitely huge. If you step back, I was going to come all the way out with their 1 by 3, so they're 8 feet long. I was going to come all the way out, but this doorway to get up the stairs and this door to get into like the back room, they're not parallel. So it comes out further here than it does there. So if I come out the 8 foot, it would have lined up literally perfectly with this corner, but you can't just walk straight across without having to go around. And to me, with laundry baskets and for Mrs. Train Main, I didn't really want to impose on her. So, but yeah, it's huge. On the last layout I had, it was 2 by 8 and then 2 by 8. So 2 by 10 technically because it came out 2 feet and then 6 feet this way. I was thinking about just expanding on the wall again, but I didn't want to have to put up another backdrop thing and only just have a straight run and then have it be hidden because obviously I want it to look point to point without seeing a train going in a loop because that's not realistic to me. Do you though? It's just my configuration. So what I decided was I'll just add to my main line run. So I've already ordered a few Pico number 6 turnouts. We're going to throw one here and the main line's going to go all the way around and then back in there. I already have a track plan in mind. It's not 1,000%, but I'm going to have a big mountain going along the entire center portion of this, give or take. I'm going to have a little tiny town here, like a very small town with a small 4 or 5 track yard and maybe like one industry served off of it. So just a little yard and an industry, maybe an old abandoned looking industry. So it'll come in, like I said, 4 or 5 tracks, really old, decrepit. Maybe sees like 2 trains a week and just some cars sitting around, mainly because I want to have storage for my cars on the layout. There'll be plenty at the lumber mill for the lumber cars and at the coal mine for the coal cars, but I have auto racks and gondolas and coil cars. I want a yard on the layout. So again, this is a pretty long run. Those are 2.5 foot sections and, so again, little tiny town, no main street and crazy restaurants and stuff. Little 3-4 track yard kind of, and then wind around the mountain. And have the mountain be real imposing up over here where it comes. Have the track really close to the edge up here and have like rocky cliff faces. And then on this side, I'm thinking I want the track as close to the edge as possible about here. And this whole side is going to be a very narrow run, a whole side of cliff faces, maybe a little bit of rolling grass, but very steep and abrupt rock with some canyons, a couple bridges. I want to have at least 2 bridges in this stretch. One potentially with a water feature or a waterfall, and one with, just like a rocky chasm. So let's just say it comes around, you won't be able to see anything over there. Comes around right over here, real abrupt, cliff, 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 rocky chasm, bridge, cliff, cliff, little lake, water feature, cliff, cliff, and then have it roll back into the mains over here. So either the train can take the main, the train can take the main, train main. The train can take the main straight through, or it can come around or come that way around. There's also the passing siding or branch line for the industries. So there's multiple things I can do. I'll be able to do switching at any of the industries as well as in the yard while a train is running on the main. Oh, a train running on the main again. I'm on a roll and I'm not even trying to, I swear. So I'm super excited. Like I said, I already ordered road bed and 2 number 6s just to get my oval going so I can test the main. Like I said, I'm not doing anything down here besides a single main that goes across some bridges, canyons, and then down here, like I said, little tiny yard and maybe like one industry that's just like right off the yard. So the yard and then a little branch line that'll come down to over here. And then it'll be a lot of foam work and scenery, and I'll get some buildings and, like I said, maybe just a one drag, main drag type little town thing. So other than that, I'm working slow, as you could tell, very slow, purposely. I just wanted to get this built now and get the main loop going so that by, fall, early winter, which it's already mid-July now, so, within the next 2 or 3 months, I can at least have those switches wired up coming off of here. So once I get those 2 switches wired for DCC and get my oval going, all I'll need to do is just make my plan for the yard and whatever's going to go over there. I can order all that stuff at one time. I'm not going to go piece stuff together right now. Like I said, make it planned, order all that at once, can get the track work done, and then begin working on all that. So I have a nice big project to work on in the winter. And then we'll do foam again and all at once again, probably way down the line and go from there. So I'm going to cut it now, though. I know it's been a few months and I promise regular updates. I'll update again as soon as there's something to report. Like I said, little tiny bit of foam work, and I just painted track on a rainy day because I had nothing else to do. Maybe 2 hours worth of work. Nothing you really haven't seen, though. But yeah, big section of the layout. I also considered, and being that we are staying, I wasn't even going to mention this because now I'm going to be thinking about it all night. You remember the L-shaped layout came out to here. I was thinking about having like another branch line. Like, what if I put a switch right here and just had like a 1 foot wide section coming off the wall? So 12 inches off the wall, long branch line, like a bridge, little hills and stuff that just services one industry, and there's a terminus down here. So like a long run, a foot wide, and then it splits into 2 or 3, 4 tracks, one little industry right here. So there's actually no main line run. It just would shoot off and be a dead end, one industry. I mean, I could go buy the lumber and I have the foam. I could build that tonight for like $20. I wonder if I'll do that. But all right, tips, tricks, Tony Hawk style. Shout out to Mrs. Train Main for the Lion L sign. That thing's dope. I'll be back sooner than later, but you never know when that will be. But count on me. If you like what you see, let me know. Please subscribe. And good to see everybody. All the train groups, all blah, blah, blah. Get at me. You know where to find me. You know who I am. Much love. Train Main out.